Hi everyone, this is Jan, and today's project we are going to do this cute little mug rug. And you can see that we have spring in the center. It's nice and cheery. We also have a cute little floral border here. If I turn it that way you can see it. The lighting isn't real good in here right now. But I'm going to show you how to do a basic mug rug, and you can add any design you want to the center part here. You can add any fancy fill you want to, and you can even add any kind of border you want to. And these are just fun to do. You can give them away as gifts, and they're just an easy beginner project. Okay, let's get started here. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to go into My Design Center, and we want to make a placement line. And this placement line is the size of your mug rug. Okay, so we want to go to our shape button right here. Let me do this left-handed because it'll be easier. Okay, go into shapes. We want this rectangle up here with the rounded edges. Press OK. And the next thing we need to do is size it. Now for this mug rug, what I have is 5.5 at the top and 750 on the bottom. So the top one, that is going to be your height. So I want to increase that, so we're going to go to 5.50. 5.50. The bottom number is your width, and I want to increase that to 7.50. Okay, 7.50 and 5.50. All right, we want to center it. Press OK. Now we're going to go into line properties. We want to select a run stitch. I want red as my color. Click OK. And you can see in the menu box, that's what you have chosen for that. Go to the bucket, click on the line. This, we want to save it. We're going to pull it up later. So go to your pocket down here with the arrow going in. Touch your machine. And now go to next. Leave the stitch length the same. Press preview. Now set it. OK. And now we have it up here as our first color. Now our next color that we want, or next thing that we want to do, is we want to make our batting placement line. So let's go to Add. Go to My Design Center. Go back to Shapes. Go back to the rectangle. OK. Go to Size. And we want this one to be 5.45 at the top and 7.45 on the bottom. So we still want to increase the top one. So let's go increase the height. So that would be this one right here. And we want 5.45. In the bottom number, we want 7.45, and that's the width. So we want more. 5.45 and 7.45. 5.45 and 7.45. touch center, and OK. Now for this one, we want to save this one also. So let's go to Align Properties. Let's tell it what we want. We want a straight stitch. I want the color green. Press OK. I have that in my little menu here. Let's press the bucket, touch the line, turn it green. We want to save this in our pocket. Touch the pocket, touch the machine, and now you have that in there. Now let's go ahead and go to Next. Keep the stitch length, Preview, Set, OK. And now we have our outside placement line, and we have our line for our batting. The next thing we want to do is do a fabric placement line. So let's go ahead and go Add, My Design Center. We want to go to the pocket with the arrow pointing out. We want to recall the red line. Go to the machine, and your latest red and green is going to be up in the left-hand corner. So here's the red one. Click that, click Set. Okay, now we want to go ahead and change the color. So I'm going to click Line Properties, a Run Stitch. I'm going to make it purple. Touch OK. Go to the bucket. I've got it in the menu there. Go to the bucket. Touch the line, change it purple, and then go Next. Preview, keep that. OK. Set. OK. And now we have those three. We have the fabric line. Next, we're going to do the fancy fill. So we want to go Add, My Design Center. And we want to go again to the pocket, the machine. We want to pull up our red line, go Set. Now let's go to Line Properties. And for this, we want a No Sew because we're going to do a fill. That's the icon with the red going through. Click OK. Now we need to go to the bucket. We need to touch the line. It'll turn gray. And before we go any other place, we need to go ahead and go to our fill properties, which is down here. And we need to choose our fill. So I'm going to click this icon with the arrow right here. I'm going to do Select, and I chose 006. Click OK. Change it to blue. Click OK. It's in our box here. Click the bucket. Touch inside the line. Now you can go Next, and this is our settings. Now on the settings, what I did was I changed the first one. I changed it to 125. I want the design bigger. 125. I didn't do anything with the direction. The last one is the outline, and I wanted to make sure the outline was on. Push Set, Preview, OK. It does a preview, and if you like it, go ahead and touch Set. If you don't, go ahead and touch Return, change the settings again, and then go ahead and move forward. So let's do Set, OK. And now we have our fancy fill right here. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to choose whether we want to add text or do we want a design in the center of this. Okay, and what I did was I added some text to it, but the text is actually a design that I got from Love to Stitch and Sew, which is right here. It's in the placemats, and it says spring right here. And I don't know why I thought of that, but I thought, oh, I like that lettering. I'd like to have that in there. So I went ahead and I have this on a USB, and her fills and her lettering are separate whenever you get the USB. So now I'm going to go add, and I am going to go to the USB, which is right here. Now, if you had it saved on your machine, you'd do the machine. I have it on a USB, so I'm going to touch the USB right here, and you can see all of them pull up. And that's all the lettering that comes with it. Spring is right down here, so I push spring, and then I push set, and there it came up on my screen. Now I need to do some editing with this, so I went up to edit, and I want to size it first. So let's go ahead and go in size, and you always want to push this button here so that it regulates everything, okay? So push that first, click OK. Now you can go ahead and size it. I need this to be smaller, so let's go ahead and hit the arrows going in. I went clear down till you hear the knocks, okay? So it's as small as it'll go. I pushed center and OK. Now we go in to rotate it. So I clicked rotate 90 degrees to the left, and now it went ahead and centered it right into my mug rug. It seemed to be the perfect size for that mug rug, so I'm going to push center again and OK. Now I don't need to do anything else on that. Now at this point you will think it's not in there, but it is. So just leave it be and go ahead and do your next step would be to add a little border. I have a little flower border in there, so I'm going to touch add. Let's go to my design center, and we want to choose the rectangle again. So we go to the size, or the shapes, I'm sorry. Go to your rectangle, click OK, and the size for this, let's see, let's do the size. So go into size, and I did this one 5 inches at the, nope, I'm sorry. That's what I did the first time, and I didn't like it. So let's go 4.50 for the top number and 6.50 for the bottom number. So again, the top number is for the height, so we want to lower it. So we're going to do this one here, 450. The bottom number is the width, and we want to go down on the width, so we want 6.50. .50, 450 and 6.50. Now if you're in the Solaris, you have the option of punching in these two numbers here, and you don't have to do this part here. But on a Stellaire or a machine that isn't a top of the line, you don't have that luxury of doing that, so you have to do it the way I'm showing you right here. Okay, and then what we want to do is go ahead and touch center, and we want OK. Now the next thing, we need to go to line properties, and we need to tell it what we want. And I chose this little flower design, and then I chose, well, we can go with the gold on that. Click OK. Now do your bucket. You see it right here. Do your bucket. Touch the line. And then go next. Okay, here's your settings. Now on the settings, I didn't change anything on the settings, but let's see what they are. This is the size. I left it the same. I left the spacing the same. And this one lets you choose if you want it to stitch on the inside or the outside. I chose the outside the first time, and it was way too close to my edge, so I went ahead and kept it on the inside. Okay, press set, preview, okay. Okay, now you see it here, but you don't really see how close it is to your edge right there. Go ahead and press set, okay. All right, now you can see that it is far enough from my edge to where it's going to look really nice. All right, so that's your border. Now the next thing that we're going to do, we are finished with this as far as our designs and everything. And the next thing that we want to do is add our backing. So let's go add My Design Center. We want the pocket because we want to pull up our green outline. So go to the pocket, the machine. Let's pull up our green line. Mine's right here. Touch that. Touch set. And then the next thing we want to do is go to line properties. Need to tell it what to do. We need a run stitch. And I always do this last one yellow. Okay. Go to the bucket. Touch the line. Go to next. Preview, leave the stitch length the same. Okay. Now we go to set. Okay. And now we have 8 steps here. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 steps. You don't have 8 steps. You've left one out. And now you can go ahead and embroider your little mug rug you have here. Okay. And I think this mug rug is so easy to do. You have learned how to put a design in the center or lettering in the center. And you've also learned how to do a cute little border around your little mug rugs. You can also put whatever kind of fancy fill you want in it. And anytime you change it, you can just go ahead and do, make sure you take notes on it so that you know what to do. Because if you don't sew it out, let's say another month you want to do one, you're going to forget what you did. At least I do, okay? So I go ahead and I make notes. You can see how I do them. I do them in an outline form. I do placement line and then everything I need to do for that underneath it. Second step, I do batting placement line. Everything under that I need to do. Fabric placement line. Step 3, add everything I need to do there. Fancy fill, step 4, everything there. Next is text or design. So everything is underneath that. And then step 6, do the backing. Now I added a trim, so I went ahead and I put this on the back of my sheet This one I have if I wanted to sign instead of a text. And this one here would be the border, everything under the border. Okay, and if you keep those notes like that in an outline form, then you'll know exactly how to come back in and do you another mug rug, different from what you want to do. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this. Make lots of little mug rugs for your friends, your kids, your relatives. Make them as stocking stuffers. Make them in gift baskets. They're really nice to make because you can do them for the holidays. You can do like this for spring. Some of your pretty little fabrics. I did a few other ones here. This one here, I did, it says coffee time. I added another design in here, and I even added my name down in the corner here. Okay, this one doesn't have a border because of the name here. Another one I did was another coffee mug. This is coffee material, which is dark. Everything's the same, and I just put my name in the corner. I did an array and put that in the corner. I don't have a border on this. It's a little hard whenever you have it in the corner there. It gets in the way of your lettering. But those are just a few other things I did. Also, you can do, now this is just a mug rug with nothing on it. It just has the fancy fill on it. And you can certainly do that also. But I thought, oh, that's kind of plain, you know. Let's spruce it up a little bit. So I do like the mug rugs that have either a design or something in them because they're just a lot prettier and they hardly take any time at all to do. So thank you very much. Enjoy your mug rug, and I will show you how to sew this out in just a few minutes here. Make sure you like and subscribe on my new YouTube channel. YouTube likes when you push the like button there, because then it'll let other people know that we have this YouTube channel up, and they can watch how to do these little projects also. I'm enjoying this. I enjoy seeing what you're making, and it's just a lot of fun. So thank you so much, and I will show you how to sew this out. All right, bye. Okay, everyone, let's go ahead and sew out our spring mug rug. And the first color is red, and that is going to be our placement line for our batting. So let's go ahead and do that placement line. I have yellow in my machine because my fabric is yellow. That's what I'm going to be using for my fancy fill also. So let's go ahead and start this. Now you notice I stopped it, and I stopped it because I don't need another stitch around because this is just a placement line. Now I do have an 8x8 hoop. I have no show in the hoop. I also have a white pre-wound bobbin. I use pre-wounds all the time. And let's see, is there anything else? Nope. So now what I need to do is to push the buttoned icon at the bottom of your screen that has the needle with the plus and minus button. So push that. Okay. Now let's go ahead, and it's telling me that I need to cut my thread first. So go ahead and cut your thread. So use the scissors, which is up here at the top. There, I cut my thread. Now go to your icon with the sewing needle and the plus and minus button. So I'm going to click that. Now you'll see where it says the color is red, and I want to advance this machine to the next color, so there's a little down arrow right underneath that. So click that. Now your color should be lime green, or whatever color you chose yourself. I chose lime green. So anyway, you've advanced it, and then click OK. Alright, so now you're on your next color. The next thing that we want to do, it will be for our batting. So I have a fusible batting here. I want the fusible side up, or the rough side up. Just make sure it covers your tap down line. I'm just going to spread it out so it's not wrinkly. All right. All right, now you want to trim your batting close to the edge here. I try not to take my hoop out of the machine any more than I have to, or you're going to be replacing your sensors. And it's quite common to have to replace those hoop sensors. According to my dealer, my machine is in there, and that's what's going to be replaced on that machine, my Solaris. This machine here's a brand new machine, so hopefully I won't have to replace them for about another year. But I try to be gentle with it and not pull this hoop out any more than I have to. And if you have any batting that you didn't cut too well, just go ahead and cut it. Now the batting should be a hair in from your outside line, okay? And the reason we did that when we created the design is because we don't want the batting inside the sewing line. All right. Now the next thing we need to do is do the fabric placement. So the fabric that I am using is this pretty daisy fabric. This one right here. I love this fabric. Daisies are so cheerful. Flower, I love flowers. And I've also ironed on SF101 or any lightweight fusible to the back. Anytime you do embroidery, you want to do that so that your designs won't pucker. So let's put our fabric down and just be sure that it fits inside the lines that you have. Okay, my next color is the purple. So let's go ahead and stitch the fabric down. Now, what I usually do is I go ahead and iron this onto the fusible, which is a good thing to do, but to save time, I'm just going to go ahead and stitch it. Now the next thing we want to do is stitch our fancy fill. So I am using the same yellow that I have in there. So let's just go ahead and stitch that. Okay, our fancy fill is done. Looks very pretty. Looks like a quilted look is what it looks like. All right, our next color. Now, whenever I used the spring design, and I don't know how many of you have these designs. This one that I have here is from Love to Stitch, with Love to Stitch, and you can do placemats on it. And the spring design that I'm doing on this placemat came from these designs here. Okay, oops. So I have the designs on a USB, and the designs, when you get them, the words are separate from the actual fills and everything that you do on your table toppers. So I went ahead and used the spring to go on to this mug rug. Okay, now in my design, what it did was it created a box around the words automatically. That's the way their designs are. So before I sew on the spring, I want to take that box, which is around it, and I want to go ahead and advance this to where I skip that color. So again, I am going to touch my needle with the plus minus on it, and I'm going to push the down arrow up at the top there, and I'm advancing my machine to where spring is up on the screen now. Okay, just wanted to let you know that in case some of you are doing the same thing that I'm doing on this mug rug, so that you wouldn't be confused. It added that box automatically whenever I used this spring in the design. Now I am changing my thread color. I'm going to change it to a green to match the little green leaves in it. Okay, it says we're ready to go, so let's go ahead and do our spring lettering on it. We finished our spring for a little mug rug, and the next thing on our screen is to do our border in the little flowers. So I chose a gold color, which is what is in the centers of the daisies here. So let's go ahead and stitch that. Now we have finished our trim. I know you can't see it because it's in a gold color, but when I'm finished here, I'll go ahead and put it under the light here so that you can see it. The next thing we need to do, we're on our last step here, and we want to put our backing on. And I have my backing fabric, which the fold is right here. And I like to line that up with these little notches that you see right here. That's the center of the hoop. So I line it up. That's the first fabric that I lay down. And the reason for that is when you turn it inside out, then you have that fold which will be in the center, and it will look nice whenever you iron it. It won't be way up here or way down there. So the person can use the other side if they want to use the other side of the mug rug. All right, here's our other fabric. And we just want, probably, I do about 1.5 inches, and at least 1 inch, if not 1.5 inches past the fold there. Now grab your tape. I'm using Kimberbell tape. And I'm just going to pull a piece off here, tear it off. Right where the seams meet, I can feel it right there. You want a piece of tape across that. So let's put a piece of tape down over that, and then let's go ahead and put one on the other end here. Again, I can feel the end here. Let's put a piece of tape on that. Now, if you don't have a machine bed under there, put your hand under there so that you don't cause your batting to sink. Just be real gentle when you put that down. All right. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and start our last color, which we'll go ahead and sew on our backing. Now I wanted to show you this technique of stopping your machine just before you get to the tape. And all you do is push the green button. And the reason I'm doing this is I don't want my foot to get caught right up underneath this tape. If you're not careful, it will get caught. Okay, so I'm going to push the green button again, but I'm going to hold it in until it gets over this fold here, and then I'll release it. Machine just before it got to the tape. Do the same thing on this side. Okay, everyone, it is finished with its design. And what I will do is I will go ahead and take the tape off. I will go ahead and cut around it with pinking shears. I will turn it inside out, use my turning tool to make sure the corners are round, nice and rounded. I will go ahead and iron it for you, and I will show you what it looks like once I've done all of that.